Welcome to the Frugal Gardener's Garden. Well, it's pretty obvious that I'm not in the garden today because today is a special episode. This is Black History Month, but you probably already know that. In addition to being Black History Month, this is also Indoor Gardening Month. And what I'm showing you here are the materials that I use to make my hydroponic system. Now, this is just one system. I have several. You can actually scale this up, and I'm going to show you how right now. This is the bag that I purchased of seed starter plugs. They come in a bag. This is just one here, but you get the entire bag. This is also a bag of my net pot cups. These happen to be 2 inches. You can get 3 inches. You can get pretty much whatever size. Well, not whatever size you want, but they come in a lot of different sizes. If you own a fish tank, or if you've ever owned a fish tank or an aquarium, this will be familiar to you. This is just basic tubing, and this is an air stone. This is the bag they come in. This is the drill bit, because you're going to need to drill a hole. This is one of the reasons why they call me the Frugal Gardener, because this is an old coffee can. I don't throw these away. I have probably 7 or 8 of these now, and all of them will be used in the near future. So what I did was I mimicked the system from the AirGrow. It's an indoor plant system, but I use mine to grow lettuce, spinach, and most recently, believe it or not, I have been able to grow cabbage. So basically, it's a simple process. You take the drill, you cut a hole in this top, and there is one thing I forgot to add, and that is the nutrients, but I'll put a link for all this down at the bottom of this video. So you drill a hole in the top here. You take this plug, you put the plug inside the pot, this net pot here, and you add the seed. You can put the seed in first, or you can put the seed in afterwards, doesn't matter. So basically it goes plug, pot, and into the container. Once that's done, you can use the same hole, or you can drill a separate hole for your tubing and your air stone. Air stone goes into the bottom. This gets connected to your motor, the exact same motor that you would use for your fish tank. So basically this gives you aeration, and the food, the nutrients you put in there, you feed it about twice a month. I use about 2 tablespoons, and well, in the larger one you use 2 tablespoons. This you can use 1, maybe 2. Plug it in, make sure you get enough light, and you're off to the races. As I said, it's a pretty simple system. Now, one of the things that you need to know, and this is very important, I specifically use these containers because they're food grade. Obviously, they had coffee in them. But the other thing is because if you use a light color container, you will most likely get algae. Algae is bad when you're trying to grow this. Your roots should be white. If your roots are gray or dark, then you have a problem. So basically, stay away from any light color containers. You don't want any light to get in here at all. That's another reason why I use these tops here, because this is the perfect container for me. And like I said, if you're growing something that is larger, you can use a larger container. But the system setup is basically the same. Once you get this set up, now you're probably saying, what am I going to do with one, head of cabbage? This is meant to be upscaled. So this guy here, I can add up to 6 pots with this. 6 pots will run off of one motor. Well, you don't want a little cheap skimpy motor, you want a decent sized motor. But basically, the other advantage to growing this is speed. It takes about 3 months to grow cabbage in the ground. I can grow it in about 2 months using this system here. So now I'm going to show you the finished product and see what you think. This is not a great shot, but it does give you a pretty good example of what I was able to do. This is probably a month old. This is an old motor that I used from fish tank that I used to have, and you can see the cord running into the side. And this is, I believe, cabbage. So as a final recap, this is the basic container that I use. You take a drill, this is a 2-inch hole. You use the same drill, obviously change the bit to make a smaller hole. That hole is where the air stone goes, using the tubing that you get from, well, basically any pet store. The seeds go in here. I usually use 2 in case one doesn't germinate. This goes into the pod. This goes on top of here, but basically you're going to use your solution first. You stir that around, put this in here, put the top on, and basically, boom, you end up with this. So maybe this is about a month and a half worth of growth, and this is the larger can if you want to do the larger one. So that's it. I thought it would be a good idea to show you guys this. I am a gadget guy. My family members know I like gadgets, and so my children brought me this here, and they brought me this larger one here. As a matter of fact, my son brought this one for me. And over here is, this is lettuce, and in here is cabbage. And so now I'm going to show you another one. This is another one of the motors that I have, that I'm also growing cabbage in my DIY system, hydroponic system here. Now, save the best for last. This is going on 2 months old. It looks pretty much the same as the store-bought, but this is the one that I grew using the exact same setup that I showed you guys earlier with the coffee can. And here it is. Clearly you can see that this is cabbage. You can hear the motor running. You basically need to make sure that you have adequate light. I would say about 8 hours a day of light. And I run my motor about 16 hours a day. Some people run it less. But that's it. Just make sure that you check the water level every few days. Obviously, the larger your leaves get, the more water, the more times you're going to have to water it per week. And as I said, I will put a link at the bottom so that you will be able to find everything you need. Once you get set up, that's it. You're good to go. All right. That's it for my indoor gardening month special. Thank you guys for tuning in, and please subscribe, If you have any questions, put them down below. And as I always say, when you grow your own food, you will always know where it comes from. This is the Frugal Gardener. You guys have a great day.